iPhone 15 has been released and they are flying off the shelves, but any of you who are looking for cases to protect your brand new investment, well, you need to watch this video. I have been sent cases from various companies to see if they have what it takes to be in this video, and I have finally narrowed it down to 3 companies that I think deserve recognition based on the cases that they've sent. The cases that I liked the most were from ANDAR, GHOSTEK, and of course RhinoShield. I will have links to these cases down below and you can grab them at the best prices on Amazon or the official company's website, and I will update this description with exclusive coupon codes so that you can get the best prices on the case that you want. All of these cases are MagSafe compatible, but not all MagSafe cases are equal. You'll find out why soon. So let's get into each case unboxing, and at the end of the video, I will tell you the one that I rock on the daily and why. But remember, just because I rock a certain case doesn't mean you should. That is why I will cover some important details for each case as I go through them, so be sure to watch the entire video to make an informed decision. Okay, first up we have the Aspen by ANDAR. ANDAR cases are beautifully crafted and I love the look and the feel of them. This one especially. I got the camel tan version of the Aspen and I must say that they look elegant and classy compared to a lot of other cases I have. It also feels great on both the inside and the outside. The inside has a velvet type material that won't scratch your phone. And around the sides we have buttons for both the volume and the power. But one thing to note, this was an early version of the Aspen sent out to me which had a hole for the action button. Now they might have designed it not knowing that it would be an action button and rather the standard slider switch, but they got into some hot water due to that. The new version has been updated, but I got this one and it's impossible to use the action button. The leather backing feels smooth and has a matte texture to it, but one thing to note, if you even scratch it a bit, you can see the marks when it's under a certain angle in the light. I don't know, maybe it will give it some character over time. I am happy to see the added camera protection on this too. Besides that, this is your standard premium case and the cutouts aside from the action button seem to be aligned properly. Now, looks is one thing, but functionally this barely makes the cut. That's because this MagSafe is pretty weak, as you can see. It hardly stays, and probably I wouldn't trust this on a bumpy car ride with a MagSafe car mount. USB-C plugs in perfectly, and it looks like it has enough space for a variety of cable types. Overall, good case, provides a lot of protection while looking great, but loses points to a weak MagSafe. I'm not going to fault them for the action button cutout, as this has already been rectified in the new edition of the cases. GHOSTEK is another company that I wanted to put on my approved list. Their cases are very solidly built and they provide a lot of protection compared to other cases I've used. I'm very careful with my phones and slim cases are my preference. These GHOSTEK cases are not super slim by any means, but they are slim enough to the point where they provide the utmost protection for even the clumsiest person without adding too much heft. This first one is the GHOSTEK Atomic Slim. A lot of you who have used OtterBoxes before might actually really appreciate this case, as it provides all-round protection and less bulkier than the OtterBoxes themselves. The material is a high-strength aluminum alloy frame, and they claim it has shock-absorbing R7X technology, whatever that means. Inside provides a bit of shock absorption with the TPU material, but just feeling the case in my hand, I would be extremely confident my phone would have no issues if dropped. Of course, they claim resistance to drops up to 12 feet, which is a bonus. The cutouts are perfect and all the buttons are responsive, and of course there is ample space to plug in any type of USB-C cable. It has a raised camera border to protect the lenses and grippy material all around, which I love. It's also pretty easy for me to one-hand this device while the case is on. MagSafe is very strong on this case and much better than the ANDAR. It's not a heavy case by any means, so that is definitely a plus. The case that a lot of you might be interested in from GHOSTEK is the Nautical Slim. Now, this one separates all the other cases that I've tried as it provides a key feature: waterproofing. On top of the 12-foot drop resistance, this case has an IP68 waterproofing standard, and this protects the phone from pretty much all the elements. We also have a lanyard included, which might be handy to some of you. The case is 2 pieces, the front and the back, and has a film on the front so you can use your phone display without any issues. Putting it together is quite easy, and you can see that the seal is pretty tight. The film on the top is actually quite responsive when using the display. I must say though, And this is a given provided all the protection it has, but the case is a bit bulky. Again, not as bad as the OtterBoxes I've tried, but bulky nonetheless. The back is also hard plastic as well as the material around the case, but it provides a lot of grip. All the ports around the device are well protected, and we have a rubber enclosure to prevent any elements ending up inside the unit. We can also see there's plenty of space in the cutout for any type of USB-C cable. Although the action button is exposed, we have these plastic covers to avoid that. Overall, it's not that heavy, and I'm absolutely confident that this would take quite a beating. And of course, let's give it the old MagSafe test. That is strong. Despite being a rugged case, I gotta say I'm pretty impressed with the strength of the MagSafe for both these GHOSTEK cases. Okay, finally we have some RhinoShield cases. Now they sent me a big chunk of their series lineup and some different colors within the same lineup as well. So we're going to first focus on the RhinoShield SolidSuit series. This may look like your standard case, and it's usually the go-to for anyone who just needs some protection for their phone, but the best part is that you can make it your own. My favorite one out of this series is the SolidSuit Window White, which we're going to check out first. Now you can tell right off the bat that this case is fresh. I have a special place in my heart for white cases, but let me tell you, the design on the back just elevates it. You don't see many cases like this out there in the wild, which adds that flair and uniqueness. The texture on the inside of the SolidSuit series is interesting. I don't really know if it adds any value though, seeing as how this is the part no one sees, so I would hope it provides more functionality for protection than anything else. It's not like the velvet you see in the ANDAR, although I wish it were, because that's a little bit smoother. I feel like it would add a little bit more protection to the inside. Now this is the same with the blue, black, and the green cases I received in this lineup. With RhinoShield cases, the buttons are sort of do-it-yourself, and the reason behind this isn't because they were too lazy to assemble it for you, it's because you can mix and match button colors from other cases or even buy your favorite buttons from their website. I actually prefer this method because you can customize your cases even further. Popping them in is quite easy, so no complaints here. So this is what the phone looks like with the case on, and I have to say this white makes it pop. I love how it looks, but my only concern would be if it hit concrete or got damaged, any marks or scuffs might be pretty visible. But just look at this case, it's like getting a fresh new pair of white sneakers. I'm going to show you what the green and the blue as well as the black cases look like with the phone. With these cases, the color of your phone won't even matter as it covers the entire phone itself. The lip protrudes out to protect the screen, which is absolutely what I want when looking at cases. And despite getting a screen protector from RhinoShield, I never rock my phone with a screen protector, so a case that protects the display is a must. Holding the SolidSuit series of cases feels really good in the hand. This is high quality, I can tell you that. The buttons are super responsive, and although we don't have a lanyard included, we have a lanyard cutout if needed. Speaking of cutouts, we can see the ports are well protected while also leaving ample room for various USB-C cable widths. I would recommend anyone looking for a case to get something that protects the camera. All these RhinoShield cases actually have bumpers on the camera to keep it protected from any scratches, and to top that off, they can also be customized with different color rings that you can purchase off of their website or even swap between cases that you have. So the moment we've been waiting for, the MagSafe test. This part can make or break a case. I gotta say, this magnet is insanely strong. In fact, I think it's stronger than the MagSafe built into the phone itself. Like, look at this, your MagSafe accessory is going nowhere. RhinoShield did an excellent job ensuring that they use the highest quality magnets here, and that is impressive. So let's move on to the two clear cases I received from RhinoShield. The first is a standard transparent case, but with a twist. This is the Great Wave case and clearly inspired from the Japanese artist Hokusai. I remember studying this specific piece of art in my uni class, and it looks just as beautiful on this phone case. There are other Japanese-inspired designs that RhinoShield offers on their cases for the Clear Case series, but I love this one the most. The actual print material on the case is high quality, and I don't see this thing scratching off at all. I also love the black ring around the camera bump, which looks great, but of course, like I mentioned before, you can customize this if you like. If you prefer no design, we also have this standard clear case, which is pretty much the same but completely transparent if you want to show off the color of your phone. You can never go wrong with a standard clear case because this means you can also use something like a D-brand skin, but still have the protection of a case without having to compromise. MagSafe on the clear cases are just as strong as the SolidSuit. I believe that RhinoShield uses this across all their cases regardless of the series, and that's a plus. Okay, so finally the last series from the RhinoShield bunch is the ModNX. I wanted to save this one for the end because quality modular cases are very hard to come by. The thing I like about RhinoShield is that you can choose hundreds of designs for your backplate from their website. Here we have just a standard transparent backplate, but I can switch this out later if I get bored. The ModNX comes in two parts. We have the hard TPU plastic backing with MagSafe, and then the rubber TPU bumper. This doesn't feel like the cheap quality TPU material. It's very flexible though, and provides ample protection. The hard plastic is also quite flexible as well. You can fit the hard plastic backing right into the bumper case and it snaps in perfectly. But what's even cooler is that these plastic backs are magnetic, so it snaps right into the phone using MagSafe without really needing the bumper at all. If you just wanted minimal protection on the back and still wanted to rock the cool designs, you can definitely do that. Although one drop and I guarantee that backplate will fly off. I think if you just wanted to protect the back and camera while putting it on a table or something, that would be more practical. But anyway, you can use the rubber TPU bumper and snap it in like so, and you have full protection for your phone. The cutouts and everything are perfectly aligned, and we also have very responsive buttons. Okay, there you have it. I hope that gave you a detailed look at each case and what might possibly help in your case. So the case that I rock on the daily has been the RhinoShield SolidSuit Window White. It just looks clean, fresh, and provides that all-rounded protection for my phone. Not to mention, it's not as bulky as most cases. A close second would be the Great Wave case by RhinoShield, primarily because the design and the fact that it has some extra grip. Of course, I love the fact that all the RhinoShield cases have an incredibly strong MagSafe magnet and the buttons are super responsive. I will say when I'm traveling, I would probably rock it in conjunction with the GHOSTEK Nautical Slim because that case is IP68 waterproof and provides the ultimate drop protection. Because it is a little bit bulky, I wouldn't want to rock it on the daily. Finally, the Aspen by ANDAR was great. It was elegant and the design and the premium full grain leather were complete positives. However, the case is somewhat heavy and the specific design I got made the action button hard to press. Now I hear that ANDAR has recently updated these cases to include the action button, but for me, the fact that MagSafe was extremely weak made it my last choice. But it did make the cut though, because that case looks and feels awesome. But those are my thoughts on these cases. Which one do you like the most and which one would you like to rock? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, my name is J.I. Thank you for watching and thank you for kicking it with me.